Removing a successor trustee is possible and generally requires filing a petition for removal while working with a trust litigation attorney. For trust litigators, a common question is whether a successor trustee can be removed or replaced. Successor trustees don't always manage the trust effectively or respect the grantor's true wishes. Sometimes successor trustees will try to disinherit heirs or engage in self-serving practices that violate their fiduciary duty. Other times, they simply neglect their administrative duties or make unwise investment decisions. In these cases, it may be possible to have the successor trustee replaced by filing a petition for removal or suspension with the probate court. Can I remove a successor trustee? Maybe. If the successor trustee has mismanaged the trust or engaged in misconduct or neglect. Many modern trusts appoint what's called a trust protector. A trust protector usually has the authority to remove and replace a trustee at will. Beneficiaries and co-trustees usually don't, but might, have the authority to remove a successor trustee themselves. If the trust protector won't do it for them, or there is no trust protector, and the beneficiaries or co-trustee don't have the authority either, then a petition for removal will have to be filed with the applicable probate court. Most of the time, it's the beneficiaries or the co-trustee who seek to have a trustee removed after the trust creator has passed or become incapacitated. When can a successor trustee be removed? A successor trustee can be subject to removal if, 1, they've been negligent or engaged in some sort of misconduct. If a trustee has breached any of their fiduciary duties, they might even be ousted from their post. Successor trustees are often removed for self-dealing, conflicts of interest, investment mismanagement, or failing to make proper distributions. 2, the trustee failed to disclose material information or provide a full and accurate trust accounting as required. 3, the trustee does not respect the original intent of the person who created the trust. This is often the case when a successor trustee tries to add or subtract a beneficiary or make amendments that they think should have happened but aren't in keeping with the grantor's real wishes. 4, the trustee becomes incapacitated and can no longer perform their duties but won't step aside. Can a trust protector remove a successor trustee? Usually yes. If a trust maker appoints a trust protector, that person or entity often has a right to remove a successor trustee or prevent their appointment. This can save beneficiaries and co-trustees the time and expense of having to go through the probate court processes to have them removed. If a trust protector does decide to remove a successor trustee, they usually have the power to appoint a replacement. The trust protector is usually an impartial third party who's not a beneficiary of the trust, so their judgment is assumed to be more objective, and it's assumed that they're going to do the right thing for the trust and its beneficiaries. Can beneficiaries sue a successor trustee? Sure. Beneficiaries can sue a successor trustee, and they're usually the ones that do. A beneficiary can seek a successor trustee's removal, demand that they compensate the trust for any losses they caused, or both. In some cases, there's an exculpatory clause in the trust that might purport to protect the successor trustee from all liability, but unless the offensive behavior is specifically covered by that exculpatory clause, courts likely are going to do what they can to protect the beneficiaries. Similarly, if a beneficiary signed a waiver of trustee liability when the successor trustee took over, it may not be enforceable if it was signed in return for a distribution. These are complex issues, and you should consult a trust litigation attorney to make sure you understand what your rights are. Can I replace my sibling as a successor trustee? You may be able to replace your sibling as successor trustee if the document allows it, or if a court or trust protector makes it so. Many times, original trustors select their eldest or the child they think is most responsible to serve as their successor trustee. But as we all know, situations change, and sibling rivalry often rears its ugly head after the trust creator is gone. Sometimes a sibling trustee withholds distributions from their sibling out of spite or sheer apathy. Or maybe they were the best choice for successor when the trust was made, but they've become ill or incapacitated, or have simply gotten too busy to perform their duties. It's simply not important to them. If a sibling successor trustee is negligent or has engaged in misconduct, and another sibling is well equipped and ready to take over, courts may sometimes allow that to happen. But where there's particularly bad blood between those siblings, courts more likely than not are going to put in a third party, an impartial private professional fiduciary, or an institutional trustee to serve in that capacity. just to avoid further future conflict. What is the legal process for removing a successor trustee? If you want to remove a successor trustee, you'll first need to consult a trust litigation lawyer. That attorney will hear the facts of your case and determine whether you have standing to seek removal. Assuming you have standing, the attorney will work with you to create a petition for removal that will be filed in the probate court. A hearing will be scheduled and a judge will hear arguments from all sides. If the judge decides that removal is appropriate, that trustee will be taken out and a replacement trustee will be appointed. Depending on the facts of the case, the court might also award damages, money, or attorney's fees and costs. Sometimes a settlement agreement can be negotiated outside of court. A successor trustee may decide to step down voluntarily rather than face potentially catastrophic personal liability if they lose at trial, not to mention the costs and the time involved. Have questions about any of this? Give us a call, shoot us an email. The consultation is always free. Thanks for watching.